Another week of fights, Will.
Another week. There were
What
fights.
you got going on today, man?
Brian's bachelor party.
Congrats, Brian.
Congrats, Brian.
Not too late to pull out of this, man.
Yeah. Yeah, he's getting
Awesome,
married
man.
next week on Friday.
Well, congratulations. Congratulations. That's pretty big, man.
Yeah.
Man, same thing as every weekend, kids sports.
Yeah.
The world just revolves around the kids at this point in their sports.
Yeah.
If one of these kids doesn't get a scholarship, I'm going to be so pissed.
Yeah, I know. At least,
All this
I mean,
work.
are you like living vicariously through them right now while they're playing sports? Or are you like, man, I wish I could go back and
Not really, man. Like I know some parents do, and you can tell which ones do, man.
If I had a kid right now,
nuts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like dude, no.
If I had a kid right now that was playing baseball, I'd be like, I should be out there.
Just give me another crack at it. Give me another crack at it. No, man, like just the other day, for example, Dallas wasn't feeling really well, right? So like my wife's like, well, he should probably still go see if he could practice.
Yeah.
And I was like, he ain't earning no scholarships right now. All right.
Yeah.
If he's not feeling well, let's just keep him home. Like I just want him to have fun. And the last thing I want to do, because you hear this all the time, is kids being pushed like crazy by their parents and then they get burnt out at an early age.
All the time.
Yeah, man.
Everybody knows a couple people that happened to.
Exactly. So I just want them to have fun. That's the biggest thing. Get to know the fundamental pieces of baseball, football, and all these things. Yeah. Have fun with it. Your friends, learn. Dude, learn how to be in sports, learn how to lose, learn how to win. I think you said that last week, right? Like it's just
it's all important.
Dude, it's such an important part, man. And out of everything, you know what else is really important, Will?
What's that?
The fact that you can find us on Spotify, Breaker, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, Google Podcast, and Apple Podcasts, of course, and YouTube.
Yeah. And we have a new layout. Obviously, we're using a new platform. No more Discord.
Fancy.
So you could just look below and see pretty much everything that's relevant.
Everything that's relevant.
It's all there. What's the Twitter and Instagram at Story of the Fight. It's right there.
And then Story of the Fight chat on Facebook.
Story of the Fight chat on Facebook. You can chat with Ramiro on there.
Yeah.
And going forward, we're gonna the goal is to be live on YouTube Sunday mornings at 9 Pacific. And if you hop in while we're live, you can always you can comment and stuff and we'll see it. So we can have like a back and forth during the show, which is going to be cool.
That'd be really cool. And I mean, of course, if you like our content, please like, subscribe, comment, because we still try to interact, even if it's not live on the show. Try to interact just through messages, and we had a blast. I think I mentioned it before, interacting with all the fans from Czech Republic.
Shout out Czech Republic.
Yeah, when we were covering E.G. Prohaska.
Easy.
Dude, I still got it, man.
Yeah, that's stuck now. That's stuck.
Oh now. Yeah. I know. Now that we know the proper way to say his name, why go back?
Yeah.
There's no going back. So, but this week was Vegas 27, UFC Vegas 27, Font versus Garbrandt. And the main event, it was a good fight. But before we get into the main event, do we have a moment of silence?
We got a moment of silence. We got, a decent amount of cancellations. Nothing too crazy, honestly. Sarah Alpar versus Lupita Godinez would have been fun to watch.
Lupita.
Yeah. Ben Rothwell he ended up fighting his third opponent. He had 2 fights pull out. The biggest one, though, that was the most bummer was your boy Yancy Medeiros.
Dude, I was looking forward to Yancy Medeiros fighting.
I think they're rescheduling it. I don't know.
Yancy has one of my favorite moments that I remember. So I was talking to my buddy Ricardo at work last night. And we're talking about the fights. We always talk about the fights every Saturday before. And I was like, man, I'm sad Yancy Medeiros pulled out. And he was trying to remember. And I was like, dude, remember fought Cowboy? Then at the end, he hops the fence and gives Cowboy's grandma a big hug and kiss.
Yeah.
And he's like, dude, I know exactly who you're talking about now. That's just an all-time great moment for me.
Yeah, wasn't he also the one that USADA came through his door while he was having sex?
Oh, is that him?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
USADA doesn't mess around. It doesn't matter what
Yeah,
you're doing. It
yeah.
does not
As
matter
long
what
as you're
you're
in the
doing.
U.S., they'll test you.
That's awesome.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. Nothing too crazy got removed other than that Medeiros fight. That's by far the biggest hit this card took. It would have been cool to watch him fight again. But
For sure. For sure.
we'll
So
get
the
to it
main
soon, I
event
think.
was Garbrandt versus Font. And I've said it before and I'll say it again, man. Font has some of the most crisp boxing in the
Yeah.
UFC. That jab was absolute money all night.
Yeah. I mean, the three things that I love the most in striking is the one, the two, and any type of body shots. And he was doing all of it.
Yeah.
You know, he was I mean, obviously the jab was like the story of the fight, right? That's what everybody was talking about in the commentary and stuff like that.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, for good reason though, right? Like his jab is really good. I mean, the whole New England cartel, they're kind of known for their 1-2. Calvin Kattar also, right? I saw a lot of people saying that Cody Garbrandt really regressed, and it's evident in this fight. And I don't think so, dude. I think this was all Rob Font. They're like, yeah, Cody like couldn't move forward. He was just too hesitant. I think people were trying to draw a similarity to like Tyron Woodley in like his fights against,
Oh, no.
you know, like the inactive up against the fence. Dude, it's different when as soon as you take a step forward, you eat a 1-2. That jab keeps you away. Like it just stops you from trying anything because every time you move, you get stung by a jab. And then you're like, well, fuck, I can't do that. Now what do I do? What even can I do? But I don't think that's a regression from Cody. I think that's just how good Rob Font was in the fight.
Yeah, and I also saw people that were kind of shitting on Henry Hooft with his cornering.
Yeah,
The
dude. All these
thing
people
that
think they're better coaches than Henry Hooft.
oh, if you want to have a good time right now, go on Cody's Instagram page and take a look at all the keyboard basement warriors that are giving him tips on how to be able to beat a Rob Font going forward.
Jesus.
That's very interesting. But I wouldn't say that he was hesitant, but I know that Cody is trying to get away from the just swinging and banging style that everybody's used to.
I want to say I said Henry Hooft, but that's Sanford MMA. It's Mark Henry that he's with.
I'm sorry, Mark Henry.
I said no. You said Henry, and I just said Henry Hooft for some reason.
Okay, is that what it was?
Yeah.
One of us said yeah, but like I know that he's trying to think last night was when he would start trading with Font in the center of the octagon.
Yeah.
But when he constantly kept retreating and he was on his back foot and trying to, use his head movement, Font's jab was so quick that it was getting to Garbrandt no matter what head movement he was using.
Yeah. He started after the first couple rounds. Mark Henry had a good tip for him for the head movement, at least for the 2. Right? He started evading the 2 a little bit more in the middle rounds, and eventually Font made the adjustment and started landing it again. But Cody did show that he could make an adjustment mid-fight and change his head movement so that at least when he gets stung by the jab, he's not also getting hit with the 2 right behind it. But then, like I said, eventually Font adjusted to that adjustment and started landing his 2 again. Man, Font also throws like 3 different types of jabs. I don't know if you noticed that, but like he has like the traditional like jab like that, right? Just like the straight to the point, no wasted energy. He's got a flick jab, and then he's got like a stiff jab where he like almost comes down with it, and like just 3 different looks, all 3 really well, thrown really well. Like, dude, what can you even do against that? And he's got the reach advantage. Come on.
Like, he definitely looked like the larger man. He definitely looked like the larger man in there.
Yeah.
Which kind of got me thinking again about Garbrandt fighting at flyweight. Because I know this is something that had been mentioned before. He's talked about it before, and he said that it wouldn't be a hard weight cut. As right now, he said he only has to cut about 5 pounds.
Yeah, that's crazy.
To be able to make 135. And then you see Font come in, and he
looked big.
He looked really big in there, and he had the length. And Font said the game plan with Cody would be very similar to the game plan that he would have with Petr Yan.
Yeah.
where he just stays long, continues using the jab, and just lets them run into something hard after that.
Yeah, I think Font was right in saying that a tougher test for him stylistically would be Aljamain Sterling.
Aljo?
Yeah, just because styles make fights, right? Like obviously Piotr Jan, at least in their fight against Aljamain, had his number, right? But that doesn't necessarily mean that Rob Font would also have Aljamain's number and that Piotr would be a harder fight. It's just
Plus,
it's not how that works.
think about how many acting classes Aljo will be able to have taken by the time he fights a Font.
He said
His
Aljamain
skills will be so much better.
Yeah, Aljamain said that in November is what they're targeting for him to fight Piotr Jan again. So
we'll see.
We got a ways to go, which sucks because now
holding their division up,
dude. Because at this point, if Piotr Jan won that fight, they would have already had Sandhagen versus Piotr scheduled because he deserves the title fight. And now you have Rob Font, who probably deserves a title fight also, who's now has to just kind of wait.
So in our January predictions, I had said Sandhagen would be holding the belt by the end of the year. Yeah. But can we wash that now just due to injury or shit? Okay. Well, but I mean, either way, it was a fun main event. Didn't go the way Garbrandt wanted it to, of course.
Mm-hmm. It went the way that I thought it was going to go.
I didn't think you know what? I thought Font had a very good chance. I thought it was going to be a boxing match. I also took into consideration that Cody went 36-0 as an amateur boxer. Yeah. So this is what he really is known for. He talks about his boxing. Mm-hmm. And Font was like, well, let me show you mine. You might have been 36-0 as an amateur, but I also delivered this many pizzas. Yeah. And let me show you my jab.
Dude, so the reason I thought Font was going to win this was because Cody, he's got great hands and they're fast, but he also, most of his good shots are looping shots.
Looping?
Yeah, where Rob Font is like zero wasted energy, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. That's going to beat the looping. No matter how fast your hands are, right, with your hooks, the jab is going to beat it. It's just going to beat it. Especially since Font doesn't fight with his hands down or anything like that. He fights with a pretty high guard. There's not a lot
He's very technical.
Yeah, like it's coming
very
from
efficient.
It's coming from right in front of your face. Your hook isn't going to beat it. So I thought as long as he can man, he did such a good job of his fight IQ so high. Like anytime he'd back him up too far, he takes a step back, lets him come forward, jab, and just because
I was just gonna say that.
The only chance
he
that
kept
Cody
on going
had,
up to the cage and doing that thing where he side eyes, come with the wide right.
Yeah.
And Paul would just back up and just let him get back off.
Yeah. Just reset. I'm not gonna fall into your trap because that's the thing that Cody might have had 36. He might have gone 36-0 as an amateur boxer, right? First off, it's amateur boxing, right? Who's he fighting? Secondly, Rob Font, or Cody, sorry. I think his quick rise in MMA ultimately is also why he's struggling right now, because he kind of got away with some things that you shouldn't really be getting away with. And he kind of falls back on those things, like the crazy big counter, my power's going to beat your power if we just stand toe-to-toe. Those are the things that he's kind of fallen in love with or set up tendencies with, that as long as Font doesn't fall prey to those tendencies, this is what's going to happen. And that's what happened.
No, that's a good point. Because he did have a very fast ascension. I think part of it, too, was being part of Team Alpha Male and
100%.
the pool that Team Alpha Male had at that point in time. Dude,
and not just that, but
people forget.
The fact that Dominic Cruz was the champ, there was that whole storyline already made for him to just get a quick title shot. And I'm not saying he didn't earn his title shot, but the path was there just because of the team he was at and who the villain of the division was.
People forget just how much pull Team Alpha Male had because of all the monsters they had coming out of there. To the point where, I don't know if you remember, but Uriah gets beat by Brandao. No, not Brandao. Who is it? Who had the title? Do you remember? Not Diego Brandao.
Not Dominic Cruz?
I can't. No. But Uriah Faber loses to him. And then after he loses... Come on. Barao. Yeah. Henan Barao. And at the end, when they interview him, he says, hey, give my boy TJ a shot. Like, you know what I mean? And then Dana's like, okay. And so he
Well,
gives
well, that's
TJ
not what
Dillashaw shot right after.
TJ got the fight because of an injury, though.
No, yeah, but I'm saying like,
Yeah,
I feel
would
like
they
there's
have gone
other
with
folks.
TJ? Yeah,
Exactly.
I mean,
I feel
TJ
like there's
wasn't even
other
in the
folks they probably
game.
could have thrown in there. Exactly. And I just feel like there's so much pull that Team Alpha Male had, which helped
Yeah,
TJ out, and it also helped Cody Garbrandt out.
yeah.
But
I mean,
I
definitely.
still think he can be I mean, he's a top 10 fighter.
Mm-hmm.
He's still learning, still kind of
Evidently, right? I mean,
switching back and forth between two camps.
he needs to just go to Mark Henry, I think, full time.
Yeah, I think so too.
And he needs to mentally going into this fight. I think there was questions even in his mind about his chin, and I think this fight solidified to himself that he can actually take a shot again. You know, because everyone's saying his chin was his chin sucks, all this stuff. Dude was knocked out by heavy hitters. It's not like he wasn't knocked out by jabs. Pedro Munoz, TJ Dillashaw, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
guys with knockouts on their record. So like, it's not like he was getting knocked out by flicking jabs, you know? So I think now he has that confidence because in this fight, he never really took charge until that 5th round, right? First round, maybe there was a battle for who's taking charge, and Font obviously won it. But in the 5th round, he kind of came back out there, I think, realizing like, oh, I can take these shots. You know, he's hit me. I've been tagged this whole fight, and I'm still here. So like, let me try to take charge again. Ultimately, the jab and the 1-2 and the footwork from Rob Font wilted that in the 5th round, but he was forced to counter-strike in this one because of the game plan that Rob Font implemented. If he can, with the confidence that this fight hopefully gave him, at least in his durability, if he can come out as the wrecking ball and take charge and be first, that's where he starts having the success that he used to have, I think. So I think this is a big learning moment for him, and I don't think he's done by any means, you know?
And I'm not saying he should go in there and be reckless.
No.
Like the old Cody Garbrandt, but I'm saying that, you know, when he was willing to trade in the center of the octagon, he was having more success.
Yeah.
And in the first round, after those 2 takedowns, he didn't do very much with those 2 takedowns, which is why he still ended up losing on 2 of the scorecards. I think it was 50-45.
Yeah.
That's just not Cody, and it hasn't been Cody his entire time in mixed martial arts.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully Mark Henry, Cody Garbrandt go back to the drawing board and see what it is that they can come up with for his next fight. But there's a lot of good fights to be made for him.
Yeah, definitely. Like
I said, especially if he goes down at flyweight.
Yeah, I mean, even both divisions are so good right now that I'm excited to see him fight anywhere, you know.
But if I'm Cody Garbrandt, what gives me the fastest opportunity for another title shot?
Oh yeah,
and I think that might be flyweight.
Yeah, 100%.
So we'll see.
Even if there wasn't this hold on the belt at 135, it would still be flyweight. Is the quickest route, because I mean, it is what it is. You know, he's got the name.
To think that they were trying to schedule a Davison Figueiredo versus Cody Garbrandt not that long ago.
I mean, they did schedule it, right?
Yeah, and it got canceled. I don't know.
I think that's when Cody got COVID. I think
you're right,
and it was a bad case of it.
And now here we are, you know. And he said he didn't want to wait; he wanted to stay active. Of course, he has a family to feed too. But man, just he from a title shot to now, you know, losing to Rob Font and trying to figure out what's next. Yeah, things change very quickly in MMA.
Yeah, it does. They can. And I think people are going to. There's a lot of people who aren't going to realize how good Rob Font is, and see Cody losing this fight and see, oh man, he's losing to guys I've never heard of. You know, like he used to be a champion, but that's like not the situation at all. Rob Font is so good. He's so good. He just hasn't got his like platform yet. Hopefully people aren't taking this as, and I'm already seeing it a little bit, as Cody regressing and losing to somebody. And instead it should be Rob Font is top tier.
And if you want to, you can go back to the episode where we spoke about Font versus Moraes.
Yeah.
Where we also spoke very highly of Font then. So
I mean, he's been so good, dude. He's been so good. He just hasn't got his big moments, you know?
And this was the first one for him, I think. And now we're going to see.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
100%.
All right. So we got sleepy Carla Esparza versus Yan Xiaonan,
Yeah.
right? So the first round went exactly how I thought it would, with a little bit of lay and pray. But then she finished that first minute of that first round. The
You
first
mean the
minute of the
last
first
minute?
round. Oh, sorry, the last minute. She finished the last minute of the first round
Yeah.
with some more ground and pound. The
I mean, that
second
was a 10-8
round,
round.
if she were to fight like on the ground the way that she did in the second round all the time,
Bro, she'd be the female Khabib.
exactly.
You know?
Everybody knows exactly what Carla Esparza wants to do. There's no secret.
Yeah.
She tells people,
Mm-hmm.
you know, hey, I'm gonna take him down, ground and pound. And like I said,
Mostly
for the
take them
first,
down, not much ground pound usually.
exactly. For the first 3.5 minutes of the first round, that's what it was. Then she turned it on, and I think she saw that Yan Xiaonan just didn't bring anything, and being able to sweep, didn't threaten.
She threatened with a submission.
What
She
was it?
threatened
The
with two
Kimura?
submissions. Yeah, the Kimura, and right before the Kimura, she armbarred herself.
That was awesome. She did armbar herself, but like when I think about
I've
threatening
never
with a
seen that
submission,
before.
yeah, there's a first for everything, man.
It looks like it honestly, like it looked like she actually hurt herself doing it.
She hyperextended it a little
And
bit.
it was like, oh,
That's me. That's me. No, but like when I think
I
about
can't believe
threatening
that
with a
happened.
submission, I think about a rough font in the first round where Cody had to react to it. He had to roll out of it, and he was able to get up off of it. I don't feel like Carla Esparza, Sleepy Carla, felt too threatened.
She was never in a position to finish it.
Yeah.
She basically just grabbed onto something that it was something she could grab onto, but it wasn't really anything that could amount to anything.
But that second round, you know, Richard Casual put up the image right now where she has Yan Xiaonan in that crucifix, and she
on the
is
ground.
dropping elbows.
Yeah.
Look at that. Just dropping. Hey, Richard Casual, great job, man.
Look
Right
at
on
this production value, dude. Come on.
No, but I mean, look at that. And you know, at that point, I just felt bad for Yan Xiaonan because I knew there's just not much she's going to be able to do. She's not going to be able to get out of this.
She couldn't do anything. If people have a hard time getting Carla off of them, regardless, and then you combo that with the ground and pound that she was landing, and it's like you said, if that's how she fights from now on, dude,
scary.
That's dangerous. And she's always had the ability to do that. She's always had the ability. She's just always been kind of like a point fighter where she's trying to get the control time, and that's pretty much it, right? But I mean, in my opinion, she gets a title shot now.
You think so?
Dude, who deserves it more than her?
You're right.
Not Zhang Weili, in my opinion.
You know, for me, if it would have been 3 rounds of lay and pray, I'd say let's put her up against somebody else, maybe a Mackenzie Dern after the Marina Rodriguez Mackenzie Dern fight.
Yeah, but
the way that she
in that meantime, you know, Rose has to fight too.
Does she?
I mean, not really, I guess, but
you know,
yeah. I mean, you sell the rematch, right? I mean, the first fight was terrible because that was when Carla was just laying prey. Rose was like, what, 4-1 in her career at that point? Like a joke, right? Everyone knew. Well, not everyone knew, but Joanna was like the uncrowned champ during that time, right? They're doing the Ultimate Fighter series. Meanwhile, Joanna's already busting people up in the UFC. It was kind of weird that the Ultimate Fighter season got the title shot right away. Or the title fight, not even the shot. It was both people from the house when Joanna's already fighting in the division that they created. But now you can sell the rematch, right? She already beat the champ. Yeah, I mean, come on. What else are you going to do? Zhang Weili gets knocked out in the first round. It's not like Zhang Weili had some crazy long 8-fight title defense, reign. You know, she didn't. What has she done to get a rematch? Nothing.
You're right.
So we said going into this that Yan Xiaonan is potentially getting to a contender level, really close. And Carla Esparza now, again, another win for her, and it's a dominating finish. I guess you could do Carla Esparza versus Zhang Weili, but I think, and this is someone coming from someone who has been very critical of Carla Esparza up until this point. I think she earned the title fight.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to go up against what you're saying, man. It is, and I just hope that they let Yan Xiaonan back into China after the last fight.
Dude,
That was rough.
How about since Rose said better dead than red, Chinese fighters are 0-8 in the UFC.
Wait, are you trying to make a correlation between the Chinese fighters' performance and Rose Namajunas?
I mean, it's just it's a coincidence, I guess. But dude, 8 fights, 8 losses, 4 finishes.
Scientifically proven. Rose Namajunas is holding back.
Rose broke China.
All communist fighters.
It's crazy, dude.
Well, good for Carlos Esparza. This, at least the second round, was one of the most exciting performances that I've seen Carlos Esparza put on.
It was by far the most exciting thing she's ever done. Like, not even close.
Before that, we had Tafa versus Vandera. Was this fight of the night?
Yeah, probably. I don't know if it won. What won fight of the night?
No, I was asking. I was genuinely asking.
Oh, it did win. Yeah,
it did win.
Yeah.
Good. It deserved a win.
Agreed. I mean, this was heavyweights slanging and banging.
I love it.
Just, I mean, what's better? This is what you hope for in heavyweight fights. Most of the time it's one shot, you go down. This is what you want.
Well, when Vandera got cut, and I was like, that is the nastiest gash I've ever seen. Then the cut man comes in and wipes it off. I was like, oh, it's like a paper cut. It's just bleeding profusely.
Foreheads just bleed, man.
Just bleed. Dude, yeah. But it was
shout out for the nails too, honestly. I'm a big fan. That's some old school MMA shit right there. With the painted nails.
Oh, yeah, the painted nails. Man, for me, Vandera, I really love how he mixed in his body kicks throughout the fight.
He was fighting the combos he was throwing. He was fighting like a middleweight. I mean, much slower, obviously, but like the combos he was throwing and the volume he was throwing when he did let it go, dude, just so much output from a heavyweight. Just and the first round was kind of a feeling out process, right? A little bit.
But then,
dude, the second round, that last minute of the second round up against the cage.
Oh my god.
He swarms Tafa. Tafa just is kind of just weathering it, just eating shots. Comes back with a double hook combo, and then that backs him up right away. And all of a sudden, there's blood everywhere, and you're like, "What the fuck?
What just happened,
dude?" Man.
And I mean, everywhere.
Everywhere.
Dude was dripping. Literally dripping. You could see it dripping on his foot. Wherever he was walking, it was dripping on the canvas. Tafa was covered in blood. It was just, oh my god. But Tafa has the style where he just slowly stalks. And like you said, that first round, that feeling out process. But then as the fight continued going on, he started finding a home for his left hand.
Yeah.
Repeatedly.
Dude, you look at his all of his UFC fights. He gets knocked out against Jorgen De Castro. It was whatever, right? He got slapped real quick. Then the Juan Adams fight knocks him out in the first round. Awesome. Then he fights Carlos Felipe.
Yeah.
And split decision, and it was an awesome fight. I love that fight.
It was a really good fight.
It was fucking awesome. It was just two big heavyweights just slugging it out, right? And then you have this. Now he's 4-3. He's 1-3 in the UFC.
He just puts on bangers, though, man.
And at heavyweight, how old is he? He's 27 years old at heavyweight.
Oh my god!
I don't think he's going anywhere, man. I don't think he's going anywhere.
Not gonna lie, I thought he was 38.
Hey, they said his younger brother was about to be on the Contender Series too.
Yeah.
So I'm all about it, dude.
Junior.
Yeah.
Junior Tafa.
Junior Tafa, and man, just what a fun fight,
Yeah. By the way,
Tafa's just gonna have to. He's got to create his own opportunities. That's what he needs to kind of work on, right? He's kind of looking for openings more than making openings, and there's a fine line, right? Because you don't want to force it and then get caught. But
And I think that's part of the slow stalking, where you take slow steps forward, just waiting for that big shot instead of trying to set something up with footwork. Wasn't really cutting the cage off very much, feints, anything. It was just
the big
slow
thing.
stock, slow stock, slow stock. And then when Bandera would come out with him something, he tried to counter. Like I said, he was able to find the left with the counter every once in a while. But for somebody like Tafa, that was, he had the output.
You mean Vandera?
Oh, Bandera.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had the output. So what are you going to do to counter that?
Yeah, you have to bring it. You can't just sit back, and especially when you are landing your big shots. And Vandera. There was one point, maybe 2 points, where Vandera looked like he got stunned, and it was like, woo, and he just couldn't bring it. And you can't, like I said, it's a very fine line, especially at heavyweight. You can't get overzealous and force something, because all it takes is one.
Yeah, ask Pat Barry.
Yeah,
rest in peace, man. Dude, and I'll say this: Bandera at the end, it's his first UFC win. His first post-fight interview. How adorable was Bandera at the end? So awkward, and it just reminded me of Ricky Bobby in his first interview after his first race, where he's just like super quiet, dude, just talking, and he's his hands just start going,
I do it for the culture.
Yeah, it's just like, hey, and I want to give props to my team, and he's like, love you guys. And then, dude, it was just an awesome interview, man. But I'm excited to see him fight again.
Yeah, I'm excited to see both these guys again, man. Tafa hasn't been in a boring fight,
and he won't be.
Yeah, I don't think so.
It's just not in his blood, dude.
Yeah,
So before that, Spencer versus Dumont.
Yeah, this was
it was a fight.
This was a fight, and it happened, and look at that.
This is exactly how it is with like Felder, and when he's trying to describe what happened, he's like, head kick there, and Dumont coming in with the right hand, and all right, let's go to the post-fight interview.
Yeah.
There's not much going on, right? Not much going on. Hey, I will say though, Spencer, I was surprised with her striking in this fight. It didn't go the way she wanted, but it's more than she's done in the past.
Correct.
I'll say that.
Correct.
I'll say that.
She is tough.
She is very tough.
Yeah, she could.
Before that, we had Amos versus Aljo.
Yeah.
we had Amos
that's our boy right there
versus Billy.
Yeah, that's our boy.
Dude, Aljo. For me, takedowns were just the story of this specific fight here.
I had Aljo winning rounds 2 and 3.
It was a close fight. I was surprised how easy it was for Ramos to take Aljo down. It was a couple of basic trips.
Yeah,
up against the cage.
I was surprised how easy it was for Aljo to get up as soon as he got taken down every time. It was just like the first round. There was
look at him on him like that, like a little spider monkey. Look at that.
Yeah. And the first round there were submission attempts from Ricardo Ramos, right? And but after that, the takedowns really didn't even threaten anything. There was just nothing after them. And anytime Aljo was landing, which he was outstriking him considerably, every time he was landing, it looked like it was getting reactions from Ramos. He'd hit him with like a big shot and he'd go, bam, stun him real quick. And then Aljo just didn't have like the urgency, I think, to like follow up.
Do you think he just thought that he was cruising?
Could be, because I mean, you get taken down, you pop back up, you're like, it's not shit. And then you land a couple shots and you see him react to it, and you're like, yeah, I'm stinging this dude. And maybe
then you get taken down again.
Yeah,
you get back up and
then sting him, and like that was basically the whole fight, right? Takedown, get back up, gotcha. Takedown, get back up, and then I get you again. Like, so I don't know. I definitely. It's crazy to me that there was a 30-27, because the third round I thought was like a clear Aljo win. Specifically the third. The second round was by far the closest round, because I thought round 1 was a clear Ramos win. I thought round 3 was definitely for Aljo. I don't know. Takedowns should matter. They should matter. I see people saying takedowns with nothing after them shouldn't count, shouldn't mean anything. It's hard to take somebody down. You know what I mean? Like it should still count. Should it count more than getting outstruck almost 2-1? that's where we have to find that. We have to find out, right? And I think each judge has a different opinion on that, and
Yeah.
which it could be fine. It can be fine, but there shouldn't be a fight. Fights shouldn't happen, and if you replace the judges with different judges, the outcomes should never change, right? We have to kind of agree on like a standard, in which we supposedly have a standard. Doesn't seem like it, because I mean, it just seems like it's so up in the air. Like,
Yep.
what are they going to value? Are they going to value the takedowns? Are they going to value the octagon control? Are they going to take we
Give us
shouldn't be
open
having these
scoring.
questions?
Give us
Yeah.
open scoring.
But
You know,
not even
how do you
we
think
shouldn't even have the questions.
No, I agree, but how do you think Aljo would have also reacted?
Yeah, if he
Right.
thought, if he saw, oh, I'm down 2 rounds.
Yep.
Yeah,
Or maybe even after the first round, where he probably thought that he guarantee got that first round, and he realizes that one judge gave it to Ramos. Maybe he comes out, wanting to finish the round a lot more in the second.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just
frustrating.
It was a frustrating fight. I enjoyed the fight.
Yeah.
The judging is just frustrating, and I'm probably a little bit biased with Aljo. I'll be honest. I just want to see him do well, because I see the potential. I see like he does some things that I'm like, damn, dude, that's like unique to him. There's like some high level things that he does that I don't see from anybody else. Yeah, maybe he did. Maybe he was just kind of coasting a little bit in his mind.
Too bad. Too
Yeah.
bad. Well, somebody that didn't have an opportunity to coast was Edmund Shabazian. So we have
this is a great fight.
Manson versus Shabazian. It was a really good fight.
This is a very close second for a fight of the night. Like, really, really good.
Oh, look at that!
Look at that!
Just look at that,
2
man.
seconds left on the clock, going for it.
But this is what I was gonna say. It's just Jack Hermanson, some of the nastiest ground and pound.
He's so unorthodox.
Relentless with the ground and pound. And
yeah,
I love
he throws such weird shots too, standing and on the ground. Like, he lands big shots on the ground that it doesn't seem like there's enough space for those shots to land.
Yeah.
Those are like weird angles, and like he finds these little holes. And
you could slowly start seeing Shabazian's face take different form.
Yeah.
As the rest of the night continues. Oh, there And there it is. Yeah. And that's the end of the third round.
Dude, going into it, looking at Jack Hermansson's face, I know this bout got rescheduled because he got COVID, right? And he even talked about how he feel like he didn't really get like full training for this because of COVID. And he looked kind of like worse for wear. Like during the walkout, I was like, dude, Hermansson looks like I mean this with all due respect, right? But like he looked kind of like puffy, right? Like he looked like he was sick.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, dude, like he doesn't look good. And after the first round, I was like, fuck, man, I think he came into this like compromised.
And he was like, you think I don't look good right now? Just wait till the end of the third round.
Yeah. Because the first round, Shabazian striking, man. So good. Just that's why this fight, after his fight against Derek Brunson, I was like, what the fuck are they doing? Like, why are they giving him Hermansson? Like, give him a striker at least. Like at least give him a little bit of a rebound. It's like he fought up. I know rankings wise it doesn't say that, but I think Hermansson's should be above Derek Brunson as far as skills go. But the first round, Hermansson had zero answers, and he even said he kind of started slow and he fucked up. He let Shabazian get his rhythm because Shabazian was in that flow state where everything he was throwing was landing. Hermansson couldn't really give anything back. He was stuffing all the takedowns really well. I mean, he was lighting them up, and I was like, fuck, man, he's going to really have to turn a new page in this fight. And then the second round starts, and all of a sudden, like 3 seconds in, they're up against the cage, and he's swarming Shabazian. And yeah, I mean,
I think I told you going into this, Will, I was 7-7 on my picks for the day.
Yeah.
And then from the Ricardo Hamas on, I went 0 for 5.
Yeah.
0 for 5. Not a good finish for your boy here. Very much.
Hey, but
like,
at least you got the important fights though.
All of the ones on the undercard.
All the prelims.
That's so funny. Oh man, not a good finish for your boy, but dude, I love watching Hermanson fight. Another example of somebody that would kind of have an idea of what he's gonna do. Just try stopping him. Just try stopping him. You know what the game plan is.
And he
And
did.
he's
He was
scary down
stopping
there.
him in the first. And then, dude, as soon as he got the takedown, and they were talking about how, the second round really could have gone either way because of the sweep and all this stuff. Bro, you're telling me a sweep with a minute left is going to outweigh 4 minutes of top control with vicious ground and pound? Why are what are we even talking about here? Like, that was a clear as day 10-9 round for Hermanson. And then,
so taking a look at Hermanson now, when we see where he lands, he was ranked 7th, I think, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So he's ranked 7th. We got a Darren Till. I don't think he has anything booked.
Till is fighting Brunson.
Okay, so we got Till versus Brunson. Jared Cannonier is fighting Paulo Costa.
Yep.
Vittori is fighting Adesanya.
Yep.
Robert Whitaker, ? But that'd be a big jump for him.
It'd be a big jump. I mean, I don't think he should be ranked 7th. What happened? Why is he ranked 7th? Because he lost to the guy, the number 1 contender? Like, why did he drop so hard? Like, why did he? That seems crazy to me.
What about Calvin Gastelum?
He already subbed him. He subbed him in like 30 seconds. You know?
But it was such a quick fight.
It was such a quick fight, but like that's how you know they shouldn't run it back. You know? But and I think Kelvin is booked. I think I don't remember who. I don't know. Sean Strickland is fighting Uriah Hall. If I'm looking at the rankings,
he's gonna have to wait,
dude. If I'm looking at the rankings, Adesanya number 1. Number 2 has to be Robert Whitaker. I think he's the next best. Then, I mean, probably Vittori. And then I think it's Jack. I think I would put Jack above Paulo Costa. I would put him above Cannonier, Darren Till, Brunson. That's where I think he should be ranking skill-wise. He said he wants to fight the winner of Costa versus Cannonier or the winner of Till versus Brunson. I think what else can you even do, right? He's not going to fight Whitaker. Whitaker's not taking that fight right now. Whitaker can wait and fight for the belt after, I would imagine. I mean, it's kind of a tough spot. You know, I think he kind of has to just wait to see what happens with those 2 fights and then go from there.
Gonna have to wait. All right.
Well, I'm very high on Hermanson. I think he's very, very skilled. I was so impressed with the way Vittori beat him. That fight was eye-opening to me, honestly, because I think I hold Hermanson very high. So the way that Vittori dealt with him was pretty incredible.
Yep, that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Rothwell
and I don't know what you do with that.
Barnett. So by the way, we showed earlier our handle for Instagram. Go check out Instagram because if you didn't know Barnett going into this, you don't know that this man, Chris Barnett, carries some of the best dance moves that I've ever seen for anybody of his weight.
I was gonna say at heavyweight.
At heavyweight.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, dude. I'm not like can't be like a backup dancer for anybody. But I'm saying
imagine? They have like the regular backup dancers, and then he's just back there also.
Oh, I can't imagine. That'd be fantastic.
It'd be like the old SNL skit with Chris Farley and Patrick Swayze.
Chippendales.
Yeah.
But man, he was a one-trick pony. He had the Superman punch with a leg kick. Superman punch into leg kick. I don't know how many times he did that. That's
Superman punch and the guillotine.
It reminds me of the first time I played UFC when it first came out on Xbox, and I was like, well, I don't know what I'm doing, but let me just keep on pressing these 2 buttons over and over again. And that was it. And I mean, Rothwell, just being the veteran that he is, just sat back and just waited and just picked his opportunities. But I mean, when he choked him out there, I think a big part of that too was also Barnett being exhausted. Absolutely exhausted.
Definitely.
Because he was probably thinking, I'm going to get dropped or I can get choked out real quick and the night's over.
Yeah.
I hate to say that, but.
Well, dude, if you listen to Uncle Chael will say that at this level, people do not get caught in submissions. They only give up.
And everybody knows I listen to Uncle Chael.
Yeah, so take that for what you will. He says he was like, and before you contend on that point, just remember that I'm a multi-time title challenger telling you that, and I know what I'm talking about. It's like, all right, chill, you fucking.
Hey, dude, I told you. I think I sent you and George that picture, man. He's on my Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, I mean he's right behind you.
Yeah, I mean he's right. Wrong one. Right there.
Yeah.
Right there. But yeah, I mean, not much to say about that fight for me.
No, it was a heavyweight fight.
And we're gonna skip a couple fights. We're gonna cover Bruno Silva versus Victor Rodriguez next.
Yeah, this was. I love fights like this. People who are trying to like break in, they're like trying to get their dues. What weight class was this at? This was at
Flyweight.
125.
Mm-hmm.
How often do you see someone go down like that at this weight class?
Not very often.
I mean, dude, he hit him and it looked sped up the way he fell. Like
somebody pushed him at the same time that he got punched in the face.
It looked like remember in Django Unchained at the end when there's the shootout scene and the girl comes out with the big dress and she like walks into the room and he shoots her and then she like goes flying back. Like they pulled her with like a rope. That's what this was. He got hit and it's like they had a rope tied to him in the bottom, like in the cage, and someone just pulled it and she like, dude, he went down so hard. Crazy power, man. And yeah,
Bruno Silva. So we take a look at this. JP Buys knocked him out with the counter right. Now the right cross, that right hand, man, is going to give so many people trouble.
Yeah,
he lost Dvorak too a couple fights ago. This is a fun division, man.
Dude, I love this division so much. Like, they've done such a good job rebuilding this. Such a good job.
Kind of makes me wonder. We put DJ back into this division.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think he continues blowing past everybody?
Yeah.
You do?
Mm-hmm. I do.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, stylistically, there's nothing here. There's nothing here. And I know he just got knocked out in 1FC, but something weird going on in 1FC.
Whoa. What do you mean?
With the hydration levels and the weight cuts and stuff, there's something's weird. I don't know what's going on over there. All of these UFC guys are going over there and they look like they're a weight class below everybody else.
Yeah.
And I'm not like a UFC shill, right? It's just there's something going on. And even Ben Askren talks about the hydration stuff they were doing at 1FC, and he says it's all bullshit. So I don't know. Something's weird going on. You look at that fight, Demetrius looks like he's in another weight class. He looks smaller.
Yeah, he looked a lot smaller.
And I'm not saying, I mean, he got caught, right? He still got caught. He got caught by something that like mid-combo, right? So the counter was there. Weight classes don't allow you to land counters, He got caught. But that being said, I think in the UFC, fighting at the weight class that he's been fighting at, I think he still beats pretty much everybody in there.
I think that some of these folks are giving him more of a run for his money.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. They're going to be much more competitive.
I think the division's been built up so much more since when DJ was there. Either that, or we just didn't really pay attention to it because we just figured none of these folks are going to run through DJ. No,
it's because the UFC didn't pay attention to it, so they weren't out there scouting top-tier talent. The talent's been there. It just wasn't in the UFC. So I think that's part of it. And also, people, we've talked about it before, when there's a dominant champion, I think subconsciously people are not performing to their abilities. And then as soon as the dominant champ leaves, all of a sudden the division's on fire. It happens too many times to be a coincidence. It happens almost every time, So I think that's part of it too. People rise to the occasion when they think there's an occasion to rise to.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Well, before that, we had somebody else from the Czech Republic, Dvorak versus Ronderos.
Shout out Czech Republic.
Shout out Czech Republic for sure.
That's the boys right there.
So, dude, Dvorak's so slick, man. That's the only word that kept on just popping out in my head. It's just slick.
Yeah, I mean, he the guy we were just talking about, he beat him.
Yep.
You know,
he beat Bruno Silva.
Yeah.
Look at that one arm RNC, man.
Beautiful. Grabbed him by the back of the shoulder blade and just kept it, and then trapped the arm. I thought he was going to eventually pull that arm out and sync it up the traditional way.
No need.
Didn't need to.
No need. Look at that face.
Yeah.
There's no coming out of that.
And that's what, and dude, it's so perfect. You see him, he traps the arm with the underhook right there. He has the choke secured on the shoulder, right? Obviously, it's not like the most secure there, but it was first round, right? Yeah, first round. They're not super slick yet. And the best thing, dude, ear to ear. Look at that.
Yep.
That's where you want to be. Because now you have to imagine this whole section of Dvorak is pressing on the back of his head and pushing it into his forearm, because he's going through it. Like, beautiful. When he locked up the arm, I was like, oh, bro, it's over, dude. There's no way he's gonna get out of this. Just so impressive.
In the post-fight interview, when they're like, do you know that you had it sunk in? He goes, yeah. He stopped breathing. And I was like, oh, well,
that'll do it.
That's all you need to know.
Yeah, very impressive. 3-0 in the UFC now, right?
Yep, 3-0 in the UFC. Man, I didn't realize how many, he's 20-3. Dude has so much experience already.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, like, there's a lot of talent outside. And this is another one where, I mean, this guy, I mean, he's been fighting since 2012. So he's been there. He's been out there. The UFC just wasn't looking for this division. You know, they just weren't finding people.
Yeah, I mean, his first loss came in his very first fight against Philippe Masic.
Mm-hmm.
He rematches. Oh, it looks like Philippe Masic has his number.
Yeah.
Because 2 of his 3 losses come from that same guy. But look at the streak he's on. Dude hasn't lost since 2012.
Yeah. I mean,
wow.
It's impressive, you know. And another person in that division that's like growing. That division is growing. Like, man. The fact that you can look at the top 15 and see just a bunch of killers is so cool to see in that division, because the skill level at that division is so high, because they can't just rely on, like, I'll just land my counter and knock you out, you know? Like, obviously there's knockout power. The fight we just talked about was a one-punch knockout, but but it's not like at heavyweight, a lot of people can rely on that, you know? You can be a one-trick pony with a Superman punch and still make it to the UFC.
You know, I don't see Figueiredo reigning as champion for a really long time, and I see this belt switching hands.
Yeah,
you know, quite a few times in the next couple of years.
There's killers.
All right. Anything else on that fight, sir?
No. That was, I mean, not much to talk about. Otherwise, just very impressed. You know, shout out Czech Republic.
Shout out. Now, Will's Wisdom.
Yeah.
You ready for this?
Let's do it.
All right. So, Chatri, is that how you pronounce? President of ONE FC?
Mm-hmm.
Says that he would definitely welcome a ONE versus UFC event.
Of course.
What do you think?
Of course. Everybody would. If you ask Scott Coker, he would say the same thing. You know? Everybody wants to do there's a reason why it's always the UFC declining it, because everybody's always asking to do it. You know, why wouldn't you? You want to test it, because if your guys, say you do a main event, a main card, a 5-fight main card of ONE FC fighters versus UFC fighters, if it's a clean sweep, UFC winning, right? One can say, yeah, I mean, they're the top guys, of course. But if they just get one, I know, look at Rich on the fly.
By the way, dude, Richard Casual changing that up, right? Hey, mad props to you, Richard Casual.
Mad props.
Mad props.
But like,
Sorry, I didn't mean to throw you off.
Yeah.
I just saw that on the bottom on the ticker, and I was like, God damn, Richard Casual's on it today.
Yeah, I mean, it's just for me, it's like obviously I'd love to see it, but it's just never going to happen. And of course, they're going to say they want to do it, especially when Eddie Alvarez comes over, he loses. Demetrius Johnson comes over, he loses. Sage Northcutt comes over, he loses. Like, of course, they're like, yeah, let us test it. But if they came over and did an event in America and they had to abide by weight cutting in America, be a different story. Yep. I really think there's something weird going on there. I mean, these guys are undersized in all the fights. It doesn't make any sense. There's something weird going on there, man.
All right. So the next one.
I would love to watch it, though.
Oh, I would watch it for sure.
Yeah.
Paul Felder retired last night during the broadcast. Mm-hmm. Good time to retire? That's my question. And I did want to say in the post-fight interview, he says it's a touch early, but I'd rather be a touch early than a touch late. So Paul Felder, man, one of my faves. What do you think?
Yeah, never in a boring fight. Has a win over the current champion. Stopped him. Yeah, I mean, I kind of had a feeling that it was going to happen. And I like that he's self-aware enough to talk about the lightweight division and what's happening there right now, because there's a bunch of guys that can't get fights. Arman Saryukian, Fiziev, all these guys are like, please, like, let us fight. Like, Saryukian eventually, just a couple of days ago, was like, I'll fight anybody at this point. I have to stay active. Nobody's going to give me a shot above me. Just give me somebody. Like, just keep lining them up, and I guess I'll just have to keep beating them until finally I get to get in there. So I like that he talked about how he doesn't want to hold up the division, because I'm being honest, he is. You know, it's been a while since he fought, and he's holding on to that top 10 ranking. There's a few guys. I think Kevin Lee is also moving up to welterweight now. Hopefully they get him out of there. Al Iaquinta, get out of there. There's guys who should be there, and they're not getting their chance. It shouldn't take Charles Oliveira 28 fights in the UFC to get a title fight. That's stupid. When some people directly opposite of him fight once and get a title fight. And I'm not knocking Chandler. Like, obviously that's what you would do in that situation. And I'm not going to say he didn't deserve it. If I mean, he was next, right? If Poirier doesn't want it, then it goes to Chandler. It was the right thing to do. But there's other guys who they can't even get into the top 10, you know, and they deserve to be, you know.
I love how at the end of the fight acknowledges Felder, calls him a legend, and you know, after he announced his retirement, all the fighters were mentioned. Something like, even Fon, I think, was like, man, it's too early, man.
Yeah, I want to see you fight again. Like,
yeah, everybody loves Paul Felder, dude.
Yeah, I liked how his ring was like, I didn't get any of this. Like, what the fuck?
Fitzgerald's like, you're in the Hall of Fame, dude. Calm down.
I know. Yeah. Hey, shout out Fitzgerald also. Fantastic job again.
Fantastic job. Always does a great job. Oh, and when he was like, I messed up earlier because I didn't mention the fact that Keith Peterson takes no nonsense when I announced him. Yeah. And he goes, so this is no nonsense, Keith Peterson. Oh, dude, it was just awesome, man. Awesome. All right.
I'm a big fan of Fitzgerald.
Big fan. We continue hearing back and forth between John Jones and Dana White. Will John Jones ever fight at heavyweight?
Yes. I think so. It's just too...
How soon?
That I have no idea, man. Next year, probably.
Next year?
Yeah, I think so.
Once John Jones starts blowing most of his money on hookers and cocaine?
No, you know when we'll see it is if Derek Lewis beats Francis Ngannou.
Oh.
Then we'll see him step in.
then he'll say, you know what? Fine, Dana. I'll fight for $1 million or $2 million. Yeah. But if I beat Derek Lewis, now I have the leverage because I'm the champion.
I'll hold this belt. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I can see that happening.
I could see that happening too. All right. Edson Barbosa wants the top 5 fighter. Who you lining him up with?
At featherweight, right?
Yes, sir.
If I'm Edson Barbosa, if you're going top 5, I mean, I don't know what's going on with Calvin Kattar right now. I know he's had some weird concussion protocols. Yair, it's either Yair or get the fuck out.
Get him out.
Yair cannot be ranked 3rd. It just cannot be the case. We still don't even really know like what's happening with him. What's going on?
Nobody knows.
Yeah, so you can't hold the ranking. I'd love to see him fight the Korean Zombie. I don't know what he's up to now.
Ooh, that'd be a good one.
Yeah, I think Calvin Kattar, Yair, or Korean Zombie, that's where we're at this point.
You know, I want to watch Calvin Kattar fight again, but honestly, I'm very happy that he's taking time off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was brutal. That loss
bad.
to Holloway. So
I mean, he ate more
glad
shots
that he's
in that
doing it
fight.
the right way.
Yeah, he ate more shots in that fight than anybody in UFC history. So, and like by a large margin, like the second place isn't close.
That fight shortened his career, I'm sure.
Yeah.
You know,
it wouldn't be a stretch to say shorten his life, honestly.
And the last one for Will's wisdom. Everybody is sad with breakups, Will. But recently we had Diego Sanchez announce that he's splitting with his coach, Fabia.
Yeah. Thank God. Someone got through to him, you know? So someone got through. Maybe it was Dana, honestly. Being like, dude, we have to release you because of this. Like, open your eyes, you know? Maybe that. He said he took a long look in the mirror, right? And it was like a long moment of reflection and stuff. And that's probably stemmed from it, right? From Dana and stuff like that. But
that, and probably everybody's saying the exact same thing. You think at some point you would look at it and say, well, I'm the only one that thinks that this guy's good for me. And yet there's thousands upon maybe millions of people that are saying that this is a fucked up situation. Maybe time to reflect.
When every single fighter interview that the topic gets brought up on, when all of them are like, dude, it's just sad. Like, I hate seeing, like, at some point it's gotta click, you know?
What's the saying? God. Oh, hey, Richard Cadwell, have you been able to catch any fights, dude? I know you've been with us already for some time here. Have you been able to catch any fights whatsoever?
I have been so busy getting this stream platform put together. I have not been able to watch anything. So I apologize, but maybe soon. Maybe after the face reveal, I'll start I'll start watching some fights.
All right.
Until then, just bleed.
I love it. Thank you, Richard Cadwell. Appreciate it, man.
No problem, buddy.
One of the best avatars I think I've ever seen.
It's so perfect.
All right, so that's all I got. Thank you for Will's wisdom. Next week we start going live, right?
I believe so. That's the plan, at least, right?
Yes. Let's see what fights we have coming up next week. Let me see here.
Rosenstruck versus Augusto Sakai.
Oh, wait. Before that, we have Pettis. Pettis fighting again already?
What?
Is that right?
Where? You see that?
Maybe I'm way off. Oh, okay, I skipped a bunch of fights. Never mind. Well, in case anybody was wondering, Pettis is fighting again in June. Still seems pretty fast.
Yeah.
When I think about it. But yeah, we have who is it?
Rosenstruck versus Augusto Sakai.
Big step up for Sakai.
Big step up. That's heavyweight MMA for you.
It's a real test.
Walt Harris versus Marcin Tybura is a great fight.
Okay. Always enjoy watching Walt Harris.
The sleeper fight, though, dude. Tanner Boser versus Latifi. I saw people shitting all over this card saying, oh, man, another lackluster card back-to-back. Get the fuck out of here, man. Santiago Ponzinibbio's back. Amanda Ribas versus Angela Hill. Come on.
George's boy, Ponzinibbio.
Yeah.
He is still high on Ponzinibbio.
It'll be interesting to see him bounce back, right? The ring rust is gone, hopefully, and we're good to go.
We've talked before about Angela Hill and how much we love watching her fight. So this looks like it's going to be a good card, man.
Dude, this card is stacked. People are sleeping on this card. Yusuf Zalal versus
Looks like a little cutie.
Yeah, dude. Zalal versus
Oh.
Sean Woodson. Ooh.
Bro, how about Maki Pitolo?
He had to pull out. They're trying to find a replacement.
No.
I know, but honestly, kind of a good thing because he's fighting Dusko, and I feel like Maki Pitolo needs like a break. They've been throwing him killer after killer after kill, like 4 killers in a row. Give him a rest.
We mentioned the fact that since coming into the UFC, he's gone through a little rough patch, right?
Yeah,
he's lost 3 fights in a row, but every single one of those fights is an absolute banger.
Yeah, he's so good. But dude,
he's like
Darren
a
Stewart, Kasangane, Marquez, like dude, and then they give him Dusko. Come on, man, give him a break. And I'm not saying he can't beat him.
The card.
Yeah, and I'm not saying Pitolo can't beat Dusko. We just saw Dusko lose for the first time, so like it's possible, right? But dude, just give him a break.
Yeah,
and it sounds like crazy to say like give him a step down in competition when he's not even fighting like ranked fighters, but dude, there's a group of killers trying to get in, and
Darren Stewart, Kasangane, these are the folks that later on down the road, when they break into top 15, top 10, we're going to be talking about the fights against Maki Pitolo that were bangers as well, and we're like, look at him now. Meanwhile, Maki Pitolo's been cut from the UFC because he got all these killers in a row and lost to all of them.
Dude, this card is insane to me. It's so good, dude. Jordan Levitt coming back after the slam knockout of Matt Wyman. Dude, this card is stacked. Tom Breese versus Arroyo.
Yusuf Zalal's on there too.
Yeah, against Sean Woodson. There's a crazy fight.
Dude, this is a lot of good fights.
Dude, Makwan Amirkhani is back.
Another very good name.
Yeah, dude.
Makwan Amirkhani. Say it really fast.
Makwan Amirkhani. Great.
Damn, that was pretty good.
Hey, that's my boy. But dude, top to bottom, first fight on the card to the end, bangers. Alan Patrick versus Mason Jones. Come on.
Let's see what time. This one seems like it's starting at regular time again. This last card started pretty early.
Yeah, snuck up on me. Great. Wait, regular time? What are you talking about? This shit says Saturday, June 5th, 8 a.m. Pacific time.
Does it? Mine says
3:30 a.m. Pacific time.
Standard time. Well, where's it at?
That can't be right.
No, they're not going to be starting it off in Vegas at that time.
Why is that website's just wrong? Dude, I think
mine shows 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
That's on Tapology, right?
Yeah.
Next UFC or whatever MMA fight cards from now on is what they call it. They need to get their shit together because that's bullshit.
All right. Well, that's all I got. Well, do you have anything else?
No, I cannot wait for next week. That is a crazy card.
So it should be a lot of fun.
Yeah. I mean, dude, Ponzinibbio versus Baeza. Oh my God. Baeza is very talented.
So going live next week. Don't forget, up until then, you can find us Spotify, Breaker, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts. Like, subscribe. That's all I got this week. Will?
That's it.
All right, everybody. Thanks for listening to another week. Story of the Fight.